Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I'm gonna be giving you 3 tips in the Leo versus Johnny matchup. Unfortunately, I'm a Leo main, so I can only give you tips through the lens of how I play the game. But even if you don't play Leo, still stick around. I'll be giving you like general tips on how to deal with Johnny. So even if you don't play with Leo, it might spark some ideas with the character you choose to play with. Now, like always with these tips slash guides, we're always going to start with the neutral. If you're losing a lot of matches, it's probably because you're losing in the neutral, which can vary matchup to matchup. Neutral is very important in this game where you can lose in 1 or 2 interactions. And who controls the neutral basically boils down to whoever has the attack with the most range. Now, while Johnny's normals have more range than Leo's normals, Leo still have his S and H projectile, which basically has more range than anything that Johnny has, like outside of his super. What this means is that the Johnny player has to make the effort into approaching. He can't just sit on the outside passively because he'll just be taking damage. So he has to actually put the effort in and react to what you're doing. Think of it like 2 people dancing. You got the person that leads the dancing, and you got the partner that has to, you know, follow slash react to what her partner is doing. And the same thing that goes for Johnny. He has to react to what you're doing. Now, while this gives you a slight advantage, that doesn't mean throw the S projectile out like a goddamn madman. You actually have to use the S projectile carefully and not mindlessly. You should only want to use the S projectile when your opponent is not putting in the effort, when he's playing passively. Outside of that, the only thing you should be looking for in the neutral is how to punish Johnny's approach. And it's not exactly easy for a Johnny player to approach Leo. Johnny has some glaring weaknesses, one being his dash. Johnny can't immediately attack outside his dash. So while he can close the distance, he's just putting himself in your attack range, because anything you try to do after his dash is just too slow and reactable. If he does his dash inside of your attack range, he's just giving you the opportunity to go on the offensive. And that's something you should always be mindful about when you're playing this matchup. You should always be looking if he's dashing in a certain range of one of your attacks. Mainly it'll be like 5H in your opinion. So like if he's like full screen and he tries to dash to gain some distance, you should be looking to now go in with the 5H. You always want to try to stay outside of the range of Johnny's 6K and 6H. Johnny players love to use 6K and 214H to get in safely. You don't want to give him that chance. And 6H, you just want to, it's his most longest range attack, and you generally want to stay outside of Johnny's attack range in general. You always want to try to punish him approaching, not fight him inside his attack range. Also, the last thing in the neutral, there's no reason to be afraid of his 214S. It's punishable on block with 5S or 236S. So if he goes into stance, vanish, misfire, just stop attacking and prepare to counter. Whether he's misfire or not, it's easy to react to. So if he just vanish without misfire, be prepared to attack with 5S or another button. If he does misfire, be prepared to punish him. Next, dealing with Johnny's quote-unquote zoning, using his cards to zone. It's actually not that difficult to deal with it. You get the pun? Deal with it. I'm sorry. It's not that difficult to deal with it because it's slow. It's too much time to set up. One, you have S projectile that just shuts that down, but you also have 236H. I use 236H to catch Johnny players off guard all the time. When they start their card zoning and they instantly go into misfire. As soon as I see them use deal, I'll use 236H to get in. Even if they block it, I'll have like RC to make sure I could just continue my pressure. So it's really not that hard to deal with his card zoning, and yeah, there's really no reason to go into great detail about this. Okay, last tip, dealing with Johnny's Volt. Johnny players love to use Volt with meter. This allows them to get in with easy setup. You shouldn't be intimidated by this move. As long as you keep it in the back of your mind and you keep a lookout for it, it's really not that hard to react to. and is very weak to 6p. So if you land the 6p counter hit, this gives you free setup. But at like max range, the 6p won't work. At this point, I suggest using like jump H to counter it, his volt. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Is really not that hard to just box out Johnny. He really has to struggle to get in. That's all I have for today, guys. So go give these tips a try for yourself. Let me know what y'all think down below, and remember to hit that like and sub button because it really helps out a lot. God knows I need it. With that being said, I'm gonna see you in the next video. Peace.